Hello? Why isn't this going live? Go editor, select go live once the stream is displayed. Okay, there we go. Alright. And it does go live. Okay. You have notifications. Looks kind of blurry though. Looks kind of blurry. I'm doing multiple stuff. I have my phone. Okay. My tonsils, my throat. I don't know why I look kind of blurry on on Instagram. Let me check Instagram real quick. And let me lower this. And make sure. Let me confirm. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. Oh, great. As soon as I get on here, it's when I start coughing. It happens all the time, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me take Apologies, guys. As soon as I'm about to get on, that's when everything start coughing. Let's see. Let me see if my live is on. Oh, I have to go on something else. Okay, let me go here. I'm just checking, guys. I'm checking to make sure that everything is on. I have to go on something else. Okay, let me go here. All right, excellent. I'm just checking, guys. Look like I'm checking to make sure that everything is on. I should sit a little higher for. I have to go on something else. Okay, let me go here. All right, excellent. I'm just checking, guys. Look like I'm. All right, I should have gone higher on I remember this video. I'm looking at someone flip video. Give me 1 second, guys. I am checking now. I'm checking on YouTube. Make sure that YouTube. My son trying to kill himself on these tables. Now I'm checking on YouTube. Make sure that we're on YouTube. And also with YouTube, because we're going to be using some clips. So I want to be able to make sure that not only am I on YouTube, but also want to make sure that I have my email up, just in case if they have issues with me. All right, good. So I see myself. They have issues. Perfect. Okay. All right. So with me. Let's close this up. In fact, no. Sorry. Let's leave this on. Let's just gonna monetize it. We go monitor. Look at it. Make sure they don't shut it off. What happened with YouTube? And YouTube have a tendency. Oh shoot! Should I? I think I'm gonna have to bring the camera down a little bit because this is. My whole chin is not there. Give me a second, guys. Let me fix the camera. It's been such a long time since I did a live, so give me a It's much better, but I'm gonna raise it. Oh, it's not bad right there. I'm gonna raise it just a little bit more. Hold on, I'll be right back. I don't need my chest, all my chest showing. My crazy shirt. Let me see. Okay, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Better than it was before. Let's move the camera a little bit this way. We have a lot of stuff going on. Let me tell you. See what happens when my whole setup get messed up because I haven't been on live for a while. Give me one more second. Just make sure that I have it all set up. I normally has it all set, but I have like tapes and everything on the floor. But it's been such a long time. Let's see if this works. All right. Good as it's gonna get. I just feel that I should have it a little bit higher. Let me move this phone down. I'm just gonna put the camera just a little bit higher, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. This has to do. Hi, everybody. How is everybody? Usa. The last few days I've been out sick. Grandma Flip and I went to the casino for Mother's Day, had an amazing time. We are partnering with Bali's, and I ended up getting sick after that. Oh, I see a comment. Hold on. Let me see what the comment is saying. Hey, Ray. Oh, hey, Ray. Hey, Ray. Did you call me? Because I there's only one Ray I know. And I got a missed call from a Ray. And I tried to call them back, but I don't know if you called me. If you did, let me know. So, guys, I've been out sick because I have a bad cold. It's making me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But what can you do? I'm feeling a little better today, so I want to do the live. I've had this live set up for like maybe 2 weeks now because what I wanted to do is talk a lot about the Trump trial, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then we had Mother's Day. Then we had Then we had Find Deuce, the incident that happened with Deuce, which is the gentleman that I helped on the train track. I was going through some emotional issues back and forth, traveling back and forth. Thank you. I had to unmute it. Look at my hair. It's been a while since I did a live because a lot of things been going on. I set up the live for quite a while to do, but I just haven't had the chance. So now I'm here. And please look at my title. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I was going to start the live with academics and what's going on with academics, and then we saw the Diddy update. So let's start with the Diddy update. I've done a lot on Diddy. There's several videos that I've done on Diddy. You could see them where I talk about Diddy and what he did to Cassie. And everyone was talking, a lot of people was talking mad crap, talking about how there was a money grab with Cassie. I believe Cassie from the beginning. And the reason why I believe Cassie from the beginning is because her, what's the best way for me to say it without sounding, the details of her abuse were just way too, it was too, hey, I finally, Nippy from YouTube. Hi, MamaFlip, it's Nippy from YouTube. Glad you feel a bit better. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So, guys, what I ended up doing, which was smart of me finally, I have my phone here in front of me with Instagram because I be talking to YouTube, and then after I leave YouTube, I forget that there's a bunch that I stream into Instagram, and I don't say anything to anybody on Instagram. So now, instead of going back and forth, thank you so much for telling me the audio is gone. I can't hear you. You guys still can't hear me? You can't hear me on... Well, I can hear myself. You guys can't hear me on Instagram? Let me know if you guys can't hear me on Instagram. Please let me know if you guys can't hear me on Instagram because I just clicked it and I could hear it. Hello? Yeah, I can hear it. Audio's back. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Everything was going crazy. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. We can hear you. Thank you. Oh my God, there's so many people on Instagram, and then not only 2 people on YouTube, and I spend all my time on YouTube. Instagram. Hi, everybody on Instagram. 2GMR3, and then we have my sister. Hey, Shilla. I can't. LAPP is Lap is. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce all your name. TBG. T page 3, child of God, born making, respectable man in the community. Entry, ANETR, Entree. Thomas Douglas, Black Wellness. Hey, Black Wellness Affair, how are you? I hope all is well. We haven't seen each other for quite a while. Hey, Mike, how are you? That's Community Hub, the youth. Okay, so I just shout some people out here. I can't see who's actually on YouTube unless you actually put a comment, but thank you for being here. Guys, so much stuff is going on, right? So it's been a while since I've been on doing Instagram. So let's go back to Diddy. So I did a few lives on Diddy. And there was a lot of people that was giving mad issues and mad attitude to Casey, saying that what Casey was doing was a money grab. Because she put the lawsuit in, and I talked about the lawsuit before. A lot of people talk about the lawsuit. And I read through some of the lawsuit. I explained why I thought it was real, et cetera, et cetera. But even after the fact, a lot of people was supporting Diddy. And if they weren't supporting Diddy and saying that Cassie was money grab, a lot of people were silent. And people are still silent, right? Because apparently Diddy knows a lot of people. He's in his own individual way. He supported a lot of people. There was I was looking at another content creator on YouTube that was talking about one of the people that has a podcast now that's not going to be talking about it, received like $1 million from Diddy. And there were other content creators who had partnership with Diddy when he was at why can't that company name come in mind? Revolt. So and then besides that, he was involved with a lot of different people's careers, right? So there's loyalty behind that. Also his music, there's loyalty behind that. There's a lot of loyalty when it comes to Diddy, right? Puff Daddy. He's not the only one, right? You have a lot of men that's out there, and a lot of celebrities that's out there, and even politicians. If I could tell you some of the stuff with these politicians, boy, power and money give you privilege. And as a result of that, these powerful people, mostly men, are out here acting an entire fool. They're doing a lot of illegal stuff. A lot of it entail um, sexual abuse, sexual harassment, domestic violence. They do other things too, because in many cases, a lot of these celebrities and even some politicians are what I call hustlers, right? And some of them come from poverty, they come from not having anything. So by the time they make it and they make a lot of money, they have this bravado, they have this ego, in which, and a lot of them don't have any conscience. Some of them feel like it's owed to them. They work very hard, they made it out there out of the mud of the struggle, so they deserve everything they get. And if they want something, they feel that they could grab it by both hands. They could just grab it. And one of the things that they feel, especially males, feel they can grab is women, right? And then when it comes to women now, women, especially women who are successful or who wants to be successful, will take stuff that they know should not be taken. And sometimes they take stuff, and in their mind they justify it by saying that I'm in a relationship with the person loves me, I love them. It's part of being part of a relationship. I've been there, I know. Right? And you just take the BS. Now, there's a lot of situation that happen that's border on DV, but it's not quite. Like, there's arguments, there's fights, there's jealousies, they're checking the phones, they're kicking people out of the car, they're getting back in the car, they're burning the clothes, they're throwing the clothes out, there's a lot of stuff that we do as men and women in a relationship that is abusive. But we justify it as being part of the community. Like, not part of the community, being part of a relationship. And some people feel that love, to show somebody that you really love them, you have to show that jealousy side. It's just things like that you go through in life and you think of. And women, especially women that's in the industry, whether it's hip hop, whether it's acting, because then we all know what happened with Harvey. Because I always get Jeff Weinstein. I always get them two mixed up. Give me one second, guys. I want to make sure I get the right name. Because this son of a gun, apparently one of his cases was dropped. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Apparently one of this son of a gun cases was dropped, was reversed and dropped out of court, because that's what happened with money. You have millions of dollars, you could buy your way out of nonsense, even the most evil ones. So you have women in the industry who wants to be actors, who wants to be singers, who are very talented. And that's the sad stuff, because a lot of these people are very talented. But there's so many talented people out there, and there's so few opportunities that these people will do anything to be noticed, right? And when they do all this stuff, and they have a right to be noticed, right? If you have a talent, just like you have a 9 to 5, whereas whether you're a talented doctor, nurse, or procurement, which is what I do, or if you're a singer or an actress, a comedian, you should be able to be seen for your art, especially if you want to share with the public, and be given a fair opportunity. But unfortunately, when it comes to powerful men and women, right, men will use the fact that they have the power and the money to get the women to give them whatever they want in order for them to be able to shine with their art. That happens a lot. Sometimes it's called quid pro quo, where the woman is willing to, deal with what they have to deal with in order to have that opportunity. A lot of time it works. No, not a lot of time. I'm lying, because there's a lot of women who's out there that got caught out there in these situations and they got nothing out of it. But sometimes it works. Sometimes you have these ubu superstars who've been through the drenches, who went through the couching, the coaching, the coaching couch. What is it called? What is it? Hobby. Is it the coaching couch? What is it called? What is it called? Couch. Casting couch. Thank you. Casting couch. Thank you. So a lot of people will be using the couching couch when it came to with actors and stuff like that, but also when it comes to musicians. You would think that you're a young lady, you're an artist, you go to a studio in order to show the producers, your fellow artists, male artists, your talent. You rap, you sing. All of a sudden, there's a couch in the studio and they expect you to do something. R. Kelly got caught out there with all of that, whereas he had half his women that he was abusing in the other room of his studio. I forgot which one of the young ladies talks about how she was actually, if I remember the story correctly, she was actually locked up for like 7 days, I think, in the studio without any food or anything like that, because he was upset because she was talking to somebody. It's just crazy. So you have that, right? But a lot of times, again, people give excuses. This is what I have to go through the industry, blah 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 blah. And then you have women who refuse to do it, and then they some of them leave Hollywood, they leave the music industry and say, no, I'm not willing to sell my soul, my body to do it. And some of them succeed. This is not many of them that succeed, but there's a lot of them who goes home and say, hey, I'm just not doing this. And then you have those cases where people really fall for each other. I think one of the biggest cases that I remember is Vanity, God rest her soul, in Prince. Vanity, when she left, and I forgot Vanity's real name, but when she left the industry, I think she did a Vanity. Let me give you her name. Oh, she was so beautiful. She passed away. Corinne Aludi. I think her name is Corinne. She was so beautiful back then. But she said, if I remember, oh no, who am I talking about? Wait a minute. Vanity, they said, is Denise Catherine Matthews. Sorry. So who the hell is this one? Is there somebody else? Oh, did she change her name? Oh, it's weird. Anyway, is Denise Catherine Matthews is Vanity. And Vanity was a Canadian singer. And I'm just going to show you guys because I like to share stuff. So let me just show you guys. It's been such a freaking long time that I don't even know how to share anymore. What's going on with me? Present. Oh, my God, guys. I swear. Okay, share. I'd like to share, please. All right. Vanity. This is who I'm talking about. This is Vanity. This is who I'm talking about. Vanity now, she says, and I'm going to show you another picture of her. Let's go back. But this is Vanity. And this is the name I was reading over here. But that's I'm probably the person that posted the video. I'm sorry. So Vanity said that when she met Prince, they fell in love. She fell in love with him and stuff like that. And they had a relationship. And that's how she became a star, etc., etc. She's one of the ones that talks about that. And later on, she said that she regretted being Vanity because she became a born-again Christian and stuff like that. So she's like, she regretted her career. But she said she would have had a bigger regret if she wasn't in love with Prince. So she was, and I love Prince. So this is no dig on Prince. I'm a huge Prince fan. So in her mind, because she met him, he was such a powerful influencer to her. She had a relationship with him. She justified him being part of her career because they were in a relationship, right? She wasn't. There was some, for some reason I got the connotation. I mean, I got the when I was reading her story, I just got she wasn't really shading Prince, but it was to me when I read her book, it was like if she didn't have a relationship with him, she would have had a problem with the power dynamic. That's what I got out of it, but it kind of went past. She met him. He was a powerful man. She was attracted to him. They had a relationship. He helped her. She's good. Those kind of relationship normally works because you have two powerful people. They find each other attractive. They get into a relationship. They help each other out. It works. It doesn't work. That works out. Whatever. But then you have the situation as Cassie and Diddy, and you look at the lawsuit. And Cassie said that Diddy was almost twice her age. In the lawsuit, she said, I wasn't particularly attracted to him. I thought him as a mentor. I was a singer. I wanted to be part of that life. And I had a boyfriend at the time. She gave the whole description of her life. But of course, that wouldn't have stopped him from in my opinion, taking advantage of her because she didn't want him. She said it. She said in the lawsuit, I did not want this man. He was too old for me. I had no desire to be in a relationship. Give me a second, guys, because I have a cold. So give me 1 second. She said I had no desire to be in this relationship. She said I had a boyfriend, but he pursued her. And then he kind of pursued her at a birthday party. And I could bring out the lawsuit, but you guys could read it because we went back and forth to it intensively in my previous live. And she said, and there was a time when she went on a trip and he invited her on a trip. I think it was around her birthday. And he took advantage of her then. That's what she said in the lawsuit, if I remember the lawsuit correctly. And I could bring it up, but it's a lot. Even with this detailed lawsuit where she described everything. And if you went through DV in your life, if you worked with people with domestic violence, which is DV, then you know the true signs of what it is. You know what the details are. You can't fool yourself in saying that this person, especially as a female who's ever been around it, who's been through it, you know when someone is telling the truth. But of course, a lot of people was like, hey, it's a money grab. Of course, a lot of people was like, no, the fact that Diddy paid that money so quickly, that means that she must have something. But it may not have been as bad as she said. Because if it was as bad as she said, then why was she with him for all these years? That's what everybody was saying. Why was she with him for all these years? There's absolutely no way he could have done all that stuff to her for her to be there. Also, there were people around, right? Wouldn't anybody else have said anything? When her family said anything? Everybody making all kind of excuses. And then there's the sex parties, right? The freak off. People were making a lot of excuses for the freak off. Okay? Now, Cassie says that she was forced to have sex with a lot of these guys. She said that Diddy would bring, and there's a lawsuit, would bring guys, especially the big type black mandingo type of guys, put them in mass and force her to have intercourse with these people. That's what she said in her lawsuit. That's what she said. She said a lot of times she had to be drugged. He gave her a lot of drugs and stuff like that. She said there was time when she didn't want to. There was one time when he punched her so bad in a back room of a club or something like that because she didn't want to leave the party and do another freak off. The freak off wasn't fun for her, so let's put a pin on that. There's other people that talk about freak off as a fun time for them, right? Whether they were growing up or when they were younger or now. I've never heard of a freak off until recently when they start pinning these guys, and I've never even heard of such a thing. Of course, we know about porn. Of course, we know about running trains. Of course, we heard about threesomes, etc. SMM. I've heard of all that, but freak off, I've never knew there was such a thing as far as a bunch of young people growing up. They have houses. They all get together and they invite the young ladies. Some of the young ladies are professionals. Some aren't. But they have great times and they have freak off and everybody doing everybody else. Apparently, that's a thing. It's been a thing for many years. I'm sure it's been a thing for centuries. Because if you go back to centuries to the Romans and all that stuff like that, you go back into French and you look at the remakes of these movies now, you could see they've been doing this for many, 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 many centuries. From the beginning of time since sex was created, people have been doing their freaky stuff, right? So they've been talking about freak off. They've been talking about freak off as being fun. There's been controversy as far as freak off having underage people, having people of age. And you said that then there's been conversation about the people who was hosting the freak off were actually underage anyway. So if they were a certain age, 17, 16, 17, 18, and they had that 16, 17, 18, it's not technically wrong because everybody was young, everybody was being wild. And there's so much. And then, of course, there was this whole big freak off documentary the other day, Freaknik, not Freak Off, Freaknik, where was it? People was going to Atlanta. They had Freaknik. People was having sex in the streets, in the car. It was like a big fest for many years, and then they stopped it. So sex has always been a thing, right? Whether it's hip hop, out of hip hop, casting couch, out of casting couch, sex has always been a thing. And men has always used sex as a form of power to control women and other men who, whether they are part of a relationship or whether they think that it's quid pro quo, or whether, which is what we're talking about, abuse. Men use sex, especially powerful men, rich men, use sex as abuse, and a lot of them really, in their mind, think that they deserve it. What boggles my mind sometimes, because even a relationship in marriage is like, some people will have a marriage and they have like, bad relationship, and their husband and them wives get into a fight and an argument and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, when they go to bed, sometimes the husband still wants to do makeup sex, and most of the time the women are with the makeup sex. But then been time when women are not with the makeup sex, but the husband want to have sex anyway, and then the husband continue. That happened with Donald Trump and his wife. Is that Ivanka? Because I don't want to call the daughter out. Donald Trump, ex-wife, Ivana, ex-wife name. Is it Ivanka and Ivana? Because Ivanka and Ivana is the same. It sounds so similar. That happened with the Donald Trump and Ivana Trump, where she said in her divorce, and of course she took it back when he actually was in his election. She took it back, but in her divorce she says that there were times they got into an argument because she was responsible of getting it because he was losing his hair, and she set up the appointment with a doctor to put the hair plugs in, and it didn't work out. So they got into a big fight, and then he forced her to, and she called it the R word. She said it in the divorce. She called it the R word. She said he army, right? But of course, when he was running for office and everything, and maybe beforehand, she took it out and said that's not what really happened. And then she has the nerve to talk about it and say husband and wife can't do that. If you're a husband and wife, there's no such thing as an R. That's complete bull. Husband and wife, not husband and wife, divorce or whatever relationship. An R is an R. R-A-P-E is an R, right? If a person say no and you continue to force them, that's an R, and that's it. Sexual assault, that's an R, right? So you have a relationship where men will use that as a dynamic. And I focus on men because I'm not saying that women don't do it also, but I'm focusing on men because of what's going on in this environment right now, right? So you have that. It always boggles my mind. And I'm going to just stop for a second. I'm going to put a pin on the R, but it boggles my mind why these men who have a lot of money, like they are millionaire and billionaire, why they can't buy it. You have women out there that is willing to give it to you, give it up for some money. God bless them. God bless them. That's their profession. This is what they want to do. They don't want to be abused, but they're doing it as a transaction for money. You give me a couple $100, I give you a little piece, I give you a little B job, and then we go about our business. But these men, that's not what these men want. These men want to be these women to be indebted to them, right? They want the women to be indebted to them. They want to feel as if they have a right to take it. Because I'm giving you something. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm giving you a house. I'm giving you a car, right? And they be using that, oh, we're in a relationship. And I told you that I love you and this is what makes me happy. And don't you want to make me happy? So you have that. And then you have the men who are just straight up sexual assaulters, allegedly like Donald Trump, who actually assaulted Gene in the dressing room. He was found liable. The jury found that not the jury, the judge found that he was guilty. He was found liable of doing that, right? So you have people like Trump who is because he feels, and he says it. He says because he's rich and because he's famous, he could grab them by the PUSSY and they'll let him, right? And even if they don't let him, he's going to take it because apparently that's what he did with Gene, right? So you have that. I'm just going from one end to the spectrum. And all these different examples, and you know who are being blamed from all these examples? The women. The women are being blamed. Women has been blamed for many, many, many years, for centuries. They're being blamed because they put themselves in that position. They're being blamed because of the way they dress. They're being blamed because they don't want to stay home. They're being blamed because they want to be independent. They're feminists. They don't want to. They don't want to get married. Not to talk about how the fact that sometimes the husbands are the one that's the biggest abusers. But no, nobody want to talk about that. It's always the women's fault. It's never the men's fault because guess what? Men are dogs, right? They have this to be an appetite that we should just be able to understand and justify, right? It's always the women that's the problem. So when a woman comes, so let's go full circle back to Canada. So when a woman come out there and say, look, this is happening to me. Stormy Daniels, when she came out and said, this happened to me, right? When Cassie said that it happened to her. I can name, these are the two that I'm talking about today. And then you have, let me get her name. Akademik. A lawsuit. I want to name her name. Lawsuit. Sued by. Ooh. Her name is Zia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her full name because I don't want to mess it up, but her name is Zia, right? Facing a lawsuit from a woman named Zia who actually went to his house. And at his house, she says there's a video of two males that was at his house when she was near the pool. She was drunk. They sexually abuse her and are her. That's what she says in her lawsuit. DJ Akademiks, in turn, was talking about the situation, and I guess he was making fun, saying that there was this girl that I guess I didn't hear it, but I'm just inferring based on other, with these apps, you could only play certain things. I'm going to try to play a couple of things that was said, but they always put copyright. Right? And everything I'm doing is based on Fair Act. So that's why I'm talking through this instead of showing it, but I'm going to show the clip. So no, I can show this. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys. Wait a minute. Let me show you. This is what I'm looking at right here. Hold on if it'll let me. DJ Akademik is facing a new lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and defamation. The lawsuit filed by Superior Court of New Jersey, obtained by Rolling Stone, was filed by, I'm just going to say Zia, who dated the internet personality, real name, that's his real name, after meeting online. I'm going to stop. According to Zia's story, if I remember the story correctly, she went to his house. There was he invited her over, and she went. Apparently, she might have been drinking too much, or something happened where she passed out. And she remember waking up and being R by two separate individuals that was at the party. Then she said that she went to the next thing she knew, she was in a room, and then she said that she remembers Akademik. This is all alleged. This is what she's saying, doing something to her. So apparently it was quiet for quite a while. There was some text going back and forth. I saw it online on Twitter in 2023, December 2023. Somebody else was talking about it. But apparently she let it go, and then Akademik said something on a show, on an interview, and she had enough, and she came online, and she's like, you know something, I kept quiet all this time, but hey, you keep talking about me, disrespecting me, so now you see, I'm going to tell my side of the story, so now we have a lawsuit. Of course, Akademik said that's not what happened. None of this happened. He said that the police is not arresting him, is not taking the case on because it's not true. Of course, Star Buck Wild, he has his own show. He says that Jersey police officers will lie to you and say they won't arrest you, but they will because she's from Pennsylvania. He's in Jersey. So one of them may bring up the case, but right now it's a civil lawsuit. She's suing him for financial, right? So now we have Diddy, we have Akademik, we have Donald Trump. These are the three that I'm talking about today. One of the most interesting about Akademik is that Akademik said, and they said it, that he said that if he goes down, everybody's going down. All right, so hold on. I want to write this down to see if I can show this. Said if he goes down, everyone goes down. I want to see this. There was a couple of people that says that I don't want to use their video. I'm trying to get the video where he says it. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't want to use anybody else's video. Yeah, it's right here. Somebody says it's on Yahoo. DJ Academic say he'll take entire industry down if convicted in our Lord have mercy. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hopefully I don't get in trouble. All of this is based on fair use YouTube. You know something? Hey, good night. Good night, bingo bag. Let me make sure that I bring up my Gmail, because what happened with YouTube is that YouTube will send me a message saying that it's about to shut me down if I use too much clips. So let me make sure I open up my Gmail. Okay, you're so sweet. You're so organized. Well, I try to be, my sister. Thank you. We're planning something, and I'm sending them notes, and we had meetings, and hopefully the event turned out to be great. So anyway, so right now let's look. YouTube hasn't emailed me yet, so let me share some more stuff. So here we go. Again, everything is being shared through fair usage. So Yahoo has an article. This is Yahoo article, and it says right here. All right, and this is apparently this is what he said.
I can't talk about too much just because I've paid lawyers to handle court, and these people who are coming at me are hoping that I that up by handling it on social media. The police wants nothing to do with this. They're saying there is.
I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it because I played it for 30 seconds. I'm trying to get to the part where he gets to saying what he says. He said the cops said peace. They're not gonna do anything about it. He said we are. He said the lawyer that's representing him. He's saying the lawyer that's covering the Diddy stuff, which I'm guessing he's talking about Cassie's lawyer, is the one that's going after him. So that's what he said. He said allegedly because that lawyer reached out to some people of his after he heard about the incident, and now he's representing the girl. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Mm. So he said that apparently he was talking about the doubt he had with Cassie. I'm guessing. Again, I'm just inferring what he's saying. I'm not playing everything. And then the guy, the person that is representing Cassie, because he was, I guess he was saying, shedding doubt. Or maybe not even Cassie. No, I'm sorry. The DJ. I'm sorry, not Cassie. The other young person that actually suing Diddy, that producer guy. Hold on, Sean. I mean, Diddy sued by producer. Let me get the producer name. So he's sued by male producer. What's the male producer name? Hello. Little Rod. Rodney Little Rod Jones. I think that's the one. I don't think he's talking about Cassie. He's talking about the fact that I guess he did an article doubting what the Little Rod doing. And so he said that that's the lawyer that's going after him. This is what I'm guessing, right? Again, I hear all these stories and stuff like that, and I read into them. I read them and I get them, but then sometimes how should I say it? I just get tired of reading them sometimes, to be honest with you. Sometimes I go in there and I listen to the Instagram and I listen to other people talk about it, but I get so tired of all the bullshit that I don't go into every single detail. So you guys are gonna have to check out the detail. So anyway, to see if he's talking about Little Rod or he's talking about Cassie, but I believe he's talking about Little Rod because that's the latest lawsuit, and I guess he's based on what he's saying is that he was shedding doubt on that, and because he shared doubt, the attorney that's doing the Little Rod case is the one that's coming after him, and he started asking questions, and he found out that this girl was upset with him, so he's representing the girl. This is what I'm inferring from what he's saying. So let's go back and see what else he has to say. And this is on YouTube, Yahoo. So let's go.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this about everybody in the industry. I'm gonna tell y'all all this right now. If Ack ever goes down, y'all all go down with me, because I hold no secrets for nobody.
So y'all heard that, right? He said, if Ack goes down, you all go down because I hold no secrets. Now, everybody's innocent before proven guilty, even Donald Trump. Even though I think he's guilty, but everybody's proven innocent until they're proven guilty, right? You have to go through the court of law. That's how the United States works. So Ack is saying if he is found guilty, then he's going to spill the beans. That's what I interpreted. So if he's saying that if he's found guilty, he's going to spill the beans because he holds nobody's secret, that means that he has secrets to hold, right? That means he has secrets to hold, and if he has secrets to hold, that means that he is aware of all these sexual allegations, all these attacks that's happening, or alleged attacks that he knows of, he has proof of, that he could share, but he's not going to share unless he gets convicted. And in his opinion, I'm guessing, the combination of all these horror stories, drug and alcohol, that's true. Thank you. I'm also reading Instagram. So you're saying to me now, as a content creator, as a podcaster, you have proof of all these acts that's happening, but you're going to hold it because you're not going to say nothing until you're found guilty, if you're found guilty. That's what he's saying. So let's go back to Cassie. So Cassie been saying for a long time this thing happened. A lot of people have been on her, disrespect her. A lot of people supported her because a lot of women, especially, they could read through the details that she was telling the truth. But a lot of people were saying it was money grab. No way Diddy could have done all of that like that crazy. Especially the people who's involved with the freak off. They say the freak off is fun. It's people getting together, having a good time. Everybody's consenting adults, even if they're not adults. We were young then. That means I was young. They were young. We were all young. So there was nothing illegal going on. There was nothing illegal. We were just having good time, drinking, swimming, and having just fun. So that's what they said. Am I to doubt them? No. There's a lot of freaky stuff we used to do when we were younger. Especially if we like a guy, we would, go to the house, meet up in the house and stuff, and do all kind of stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do it with a friend, but there's a lot of freaky stuff going on. So there's nothing to be said that the freak off was bad. But for all those people that was around for the freak off, and then there was one time I was actually doing a whole Diddy blog, and I went online and I went through all the parties that Diddy have, especially the white parties, the Hampton parties, and it was the A-list of A-list. It was the A-list of A-list. And you wonder now, all those people that was at these parties where they saw him with Cassie or they saw him with Kim, and he was abusing these ladies. And then some of them, there was again the incident of her when she said that he punched her at the back of her at a party in the bathroom, and nobody realized that when the security guard went in to get her to bring her out, that she was bent over because he hurt her. Nobody realized that. Nobody saw the black eyes. Nobody saw that. But again, everybody's having a good time. They're not paying attention. Most of them don't care. But then you have this guy named Akademik who says that he's going to tell everybody, he's going to release the truth. So how much truth are out there? How much of these things are happening? Right? But okay. So Cassie been saying this happened to her. Diddy paid. A lot of people say it didn't happen. And then the video comes out. Let's look at the video. Video. Cassie. So apparently this happened. There's a video out there showing Diddy assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. This video apparently was gotten by CNN. How did CNN know that there was a video out there? I'm very curious to find out. Right? But we're going to pause it. Okay, this is CNN Entertainment. Let me make sure that I didn't get a note yet from YouTube because I'm going to share this because I'm sure everybody's seen it anyway. But let's share this. Okay? Let's share this so we can see what Diddy did. This is the video. It has a warning.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Look at this fool running with a towel. No. So you can't imagine what this man did to that girl, that he was naked on the towel. And then the man had socks on and everything like that. Maybe he wasn't naked. Maybe he had underwear on. Look at this fool. Let's continue.
The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then.
Look how he grabbed the girl. Look how he grabbed the girl and just knocked her out. And the thing that got me is the fact that it clearly says, come on, it clearly shows that she was trying to sneak out, like she said in her lawsuit. This is all describing her lawsuit, guys. I think this is why CNN went and got the video, because they saw it in the lawsuit. Let's continue.
Then girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016.
He grabbed her bag.
A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day.
And then
referenced actions
that girl. Okay, so we're gonna stop because we won't get in trouble with copyright. He dragged the girl. After this video came out, that's when I started seeing everybody on Twitter and social media like, oh my God, this proof, this tape. Oh my God, Diddy did this. Oh my God, I'm so disappointed. Oh my God, his career is over. Oh my God. The girl said he did it. He paid millions of dollars for it. In her lawsuit, she said it happened in a hotel and he paid $50,000 to get the video. I think she should sue the hotel, to be honest with you. She should sue the hotel because they covered it up, but okay. All right. You see the man. You see it. So now a lot of people have proof. So now a lot of people are coming out like, oh my God, he did it. I'm so disappointed. I didn't think it was true. I thought it was a money bag. But everything that's going on in the world, that's been going on for a long time. It just boggles my mind when people say that they don't believe certain things, especially when people pay. It really boggles my mind. But I get it because you know something? There are situations when women do lie on men. I get that. I get it. But now that we have proof with Diddy, what we're going to do about it? Academics, we don't have any proof on academics. There's a video allegedly that he showed the young lady to show what she was doing in the pool with the two males. Apparently, they said the police went and got the video from him. Apparently, there's a rape kit from the young lady. She said that she did a rape kit and everything like that. She says it indicate that his DNA was also part of the situation. That's why she's suing. And we already know about Trump, so now we have proof. We don't have proof about Akademik yet, but Akademik said, though, through his own mouth, if he is charged with the R, he's going to expose everybody. So what does this say about what's happening in our community right now? Because that's just three examples. That's just three examples. There is so much more out there. And these guys and these industry people, the actors and actors, these hip hop moguls, these hip hop artists, they all know what's happening with each other. A lot of them don't want to get involved because the person that's the monster in the bedroom in the house is not technically the same person that you see outside. A lot of those persons are charming. You know, they give to charity. They help people out. They're responsible for career. They gave somebody a bag. So they make excuses because the fact is I didn't see it with my own two eyes. They're also making excuses is like, oh, she's still with him. So if it was really that bad, would she still be with him? No. So now that we are here, all right, now that we all went through all of this, all these exercises, and we are here now, we have the video of Diddy beating the crap out of Cassie. And that's just a little bit because if you continue to read her lawsuit, you see how much abuse she suffered from him before she finally left. Thank God she has a great husband now. She's saying that she has two beautiful kids, so she's moving on her life and stuff like that. I can't even imagine, because I always wondered, she's been with him for so many years and she didn't have kids. I can't even imagine why she couldn't have had kids, because he had a lot of kids with Kim and he had other kids, so why not? Did she deliberately make sure she didn't have kids because he was such a monster? Thank God for her, she doesn't have kids with him. She has two beautiful kids with her current husband. That's what's going on with her now. Her lawyer made a comment. Let's see what her lawyer says after the video. Ashley lawyer statement after video. What did he say? A lot of people are talking about this. Apparently, the LA County District Attorney Office issued a statement saying, "We are aware of the video that has been circulating online, allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles. We find the image extremely disturbing and difficult to watch." Yeah, and the office added that it would not be able to take action against Combs if the conduct depicted occurred in 2016. Unfortunately, we would not be able to charge on this conduct. Hold on a second. I'm about to cough. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I have a bad cold. I apologize. Apparently, they're saying. Wait a minute. Where are we? Where are we? I'm not sharing it. I'm just reading it, guys. But I can share it too. Let me show a little bit of it. This whole video is going to be, knowing YouTube is going to be copywritten. So let's share a little bit. Unfortunately, we are unable to charge as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where the crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs, but we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness of a crime to report it to the law enforcement. So apparently he can't be charged because it happened in 2016. Cassie husband Alex Fine called out abusers. I want to see what the lawyer said, what Cassie lawyer says. Cassie's lawyer, because he made a statement. Why they didn't over this exclusive Sean Diddy can't be prosecuted. A lot of people LAPD statement. I don't want LAPD statement. I want the lawyer's Cassie lawyer's statement after video. Okay, I see it. Cassie lawyer has released a statement regarding the footage shared by CNN. The gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Ms. Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. So are we going to apologize to Cassie? That's what I want to know. All the people that talk crap about Cassie, are we going to apologize now? Are we going to reach out to her and apologize? And what about the people in the industry? All these people that knows Diddy and been friends with Diddy and still be friends with Diddy and support Diddy. What about his we don't like to talk about children, but what about the children of the world? Because we want to try to keep the children out of this mess and keep them safe and everything like that. But what about them, especially the daughters? When they see the video, did they go and speak to daddy? Or are they just going to justify what daddy did and act as if it's nothing happened? I think that I don't know how old they are. I don't even know if they're adult age. If they're not adult age, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the adult age kids. I know for a fact that the sons are behind him all 100% and calling BS on all this, but there's a video. And as ridiculous as it sounds, what we saw wasn't even the worst of what he probably did to her. Because I saw the lawsuit. It wasn't even the worst. Because you didn't see him stomp her. People are going to come out and say, oh, he just gave her a little kick, 1, 2, just to prove a point. That's what he's going to say. And then there's this video that's going out right now. It says an old video. Somebody was saying that video of Cassie underneath a blanket. But then somebody said, no, that's not Cassie. That video was years ago where he has a woman under a blanket on Instagram on some live. And he was like, yeah, you better not. You better not. So that's Diddy. And Diddy is just one prime example. So here's my question, another question I have. Where have this video been all these years? Where has this video been? How did CNN get that video? Because according to the lawsuit, right, because we need to figure out what's going on with CNN, too. Because according to the lawsuit now, right, this is what we're hearing, he paid $50,000. So is it possible? Somebody was saying, I forgot who was saying, but somebody was saying it's possible that this video was taken from Diddy's phone because when they raided his house, they took his phones and they took his I think his PC or whatever. They took a bunch of stuff, so it's possible that he had a copy of that video because he paid for it. So if that's the case, you mean to tell me a billionaire have a video of him abusing his ex-girlfriend in a hotel and he just kept that video? What, to watch it again and again? Is that what we're doing? Or was it you needed the video because in order to pay the $50,000, you needed the video to prove that it's worth it? And my whole thing is that once you got the video, you didn't think to delete the video. I would be very surprised if to hear that he never watched that video again once it happened. Because that's what predators do, right? They enjoy being in control of other people, right? Especially men to women. So I wonder how many times he watched it, and I wonder who he showed the video to. Do you think it was just in a file hidden away somewhere, and all of a sudden the cops are so brilliant that they dug into the deep residence of his PC and they pulled it out? It's possible, but do you think that's what happened? How did CNN know that there was such a thing as a video out there for them to get the video to share it? What about that? Okay, and what about the people in the hotel who saw him do that to her? Were the police called? Was he asked to leave the hotel? Was she taken care of? Was a report filed about it? Men like Diddy gets away with stuff because they are rich and powerful. And they have a lot of people who's around them that allow such behavior. Even the people who do not witness it directly, they heard. You think people didn't know about R. Kelly doing all that stuff to those girls and they didn't care? I'm talking, the families was involved, the security was involved, the assistants was involved, all the music company was involved, all of them was involved in some way. But do you think that other people involved, other celebrities, you don't think they knew? You don't think they heard? And either they have their own situation or really they didn't care because it's all about money and power. And it could also be about friendship and loyalty. That could be one of your boys. That could be a family member. I'm not going against my people. Even if he does the most grimy, disgusting thing, I'm not going against that because this person is good to me. Since this person is good to me, I'm not going to go against this person. But yet you're not helping the other person either. And I'm sure there were people that was like, you need to get away from him. He's hurting you. You need to get away from him. But because of what's happening in the life, because of the money, because of the fame, sometimes because of the drugs and the drinking, just sometimes you're just not ready. You're like so into it and you convince yourself that you're in love with that person. And you convince yourself if you could just be good, if you could just be better, if you could just make this person happy, they will stop hurting you. All of that stuff goes through in abuse. But that's the victim. What about the perpetrator? When are we finally going to start looking at these perpetrators and holding them accountable? People are saying now that this video are out, they're going to hold Diddy accountable. Why wasn't Diddy accountable when the lawsuit came out? Yeah, he gave up some of his position. He gave up some of his position in revolt, and he stepped down on a couple of things and stuff like that. They raided his apartment. He's not in jail. He's still walking around scot-free. Now they're talking about this thing happened in 2016, so now they can't even get him. You have this little Rod who said that she's suing him, but it's all about money. We're waiting to see if LA, because they raided his house, are they going to hold him accountable for any trafficking? Because apparently there's a couple of allegations that he was trafficking women. Is he going to be held accountable, or are we going to wait many years to bring him accountable, just to make him accountable, just like they did with R. Kelly? It took many years, 20-somewhat years, to hold him, to get him accountable. What about Jeffrey, who hung himself? You know how many women, young girls, whether they were white young girls, how many of them that he arred and trafficked with the most high level of entertainment, high level of powerful men and women, was around this guy constantly for many years and went to his island. You have a royal member of the English royal family who was part of that. He ended up hanging himself in jail allegedly. Some people say he was forced to hang, whatever. He died. He are a lot of girls, and then he passed them on. It's been going on for so many years. And what about again Harvey Weinstein? It took them years to get caught. And as I said, here's the funny thing: it's in fact I'm saying it wrong. It's not that it took them years to get caught. It took them years to bring them to justice because everybody knows about it, especially with Harvey Weinstein. They've been talking about his catching counts for years. There's been jokes about his catching counts for years. That you will never be able to see me. There's been jokes where that you will never see me in Harvey Weinstein Hotel. They've been talking about this man for years. And because he was so powerful and had so much money, and he threatened and he sent people after these women, they didn't say anything. R. Kelly, same thing, because he was making so much money. The reason they ended up getting R. Kelly is because he wasn't making as much money, or he spent so much money that he couldn't continue to cover up. So that's why they let him fall, in my opinion. But you have P. Diddy, who still have billions and millions of dollars. So how long will his money keep him covered up? And he's bold about his stuff too, because it's not stopping him from going out there and enjoying the pool, hanging out with his kids. He's walking around like he did nothing wrong. He's walking around like he did nothing wrong. I paid her a little something. I'm not guilty. I just gave her some money, for my family and my friends, just to keep everything quiet. I didn't really do anything. She was with me for years. She's lying. It's just a money grab. He's just walking around, and he has all these people. Some people are being seen with him. I think they showed him going shopping, I think with his kids. I think there was something about him in the pool, in his house. He's living his absolute best life. Not too many people are talking against him. They are reporting about the situation and say this happened, that happened. But not too many people, unless you just really dislike the guy coming out and calling him out of his name. Not too many people. Oh, and here's another thing I was watching today. Lord have mercy. I don't know who Whack 100. I do know I've heard of Whack 100 because I heard of Whack 100 associated with Flip. So I don't know what happened with that, but I remember hearing Whack 100 years ago for something. And so Whack 100 was on live calling Diddy a POS, I think. And he said, give me the next 48 hours. I have a lot of things to tell you guys. There's a lot of people that's going to be exposed now. I saw that. I haven't seen him do any updates. I don't know what's about, but that's what Whack 100. So you're telling me the Whack 100s of the world, the academics of the world, all these podcasters have all these tea and all these receipts, and they're not saying anything. And I get it. In my line of business and my line of work, I've heard a lot of things in my line of in my business. Not even so much job related, but advocacy related. Because I have two lives. I have my job and I have advocacy. And I've heard a lot of stuff about these politicians. Scary stuff. It hasn't happened to me personally. And the people who tells me things like this, they don't seem to be hurt emotionally or mentally. They don't seem to be hurt. And I'm going to be honest with you, they don't seem to be hurt. The people who tell me things, it's like quid pro quo. It's like one of those things. Yeah, he's a little freak. He likes doing these little freaky things. Hold on a second. Let me tell my grandkids to stop. So I'll be hearing he's a little freak. This one is a little freak. That one's a little freak. That's what I hear. That one has a temper. That one that they have a temper. That one has little things going on. That one is probably in the closet. There's a lot of stuff you hear in these. I heard things about me. Girl, let me tell you. Years ago, I was working with Volunteer with an Advocate, a very well-known advocate in these streets of gun violence. Been working with them, and I really like working with this person. I stopped working with this person because I started working with somebody else, and that person had the nerve. I was actually at Black Caucus, so I left that weekend to go to Black Caucus to hang out with my, to volunteer with one of my friends, with my council member friends, and we were having a great time. And I got a call, so of course I'm going to pick up the call because I wanted to make sure that this person was fine. Like, why are you calling me? I told you I was going to be out of town. This person had the nerve to call and yell at me and said, was I on live? I don't know. I guess I was on live, still on live. Good evening, Maylee G. I think I was on live. This person had the nerve to call me and yell at me and saying that he can't believe, and it's a he, that I am out there with this other individual doing work. I'm like, yeah, I said I was traveling. I was going away. I don't even know why I even entertained the call, but because I know this person for years and we've been working with each other years, really cool person. I'm like, yeah, I told you I was going. Oh, I can't believe it. There's work to be done here, and then you travel with this person. I'm like, yo, whoa, whoa, whoa. At first, it was like, I was caught by surprise. Like, why am I getting this call? I'm like, why am I getting this call? I'm like, I'm out here. I'm doing work. I only volunteer with this person. There's no relationship. There's never been anything intimate or any type of relationship whatsoever. Never been construed, thought of in my mind ever, ever. Why am I getting this call? It's like, oh, you out there? I'm like, yo, check it. And then when I get to check it and I get Brooklyn, I get very pissed off. So I went from 0 to 100. Don't be calling my number with no bullshit. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm out here doing work with my people and I'm having a good time and doing work. Don't be calling me no nonsense and stuff like that. Click. Phone. Click the phone. It pissed me the hell off. What nerve? First of all, nobody could tell me what to do ever. Even back then, nobody could tell me to do. I will work, volunteer with whoever I want to. Just because I volunteer with you we were volunteering with like we really were partnership and volunteering for a couple of years. You think you have the nerve to tell me that I can't volunteer with somebody else? Have you lost your damn mind? Have you actually lost your fucking mind? And I'm in the middle of the Black Caucus at an event with a lot of politicians enjoying my entire life. And this fool is calling me on the phone. Lord, I was pissed off. Okay. I let it go, come back. Still working with that individual and stuff like that. They act like, nothing happened. They probably was having a bad day. I let it go. Another incident happened where I was going to another location and I was at the person's car and the person told me I had to get out of the car and take a cab because the person and I was going to an event, but we got into an argument and the person was like, oh no, I'm not going anymore. So I had to get out of the car and go to the event by myself. That was the second thing. That happened. And I'm sure there was another thing that happened. But even though at the end of the day, I stopped working with that person. And we still kind of talk now. We good, we cool. But I stopped working with that person. We were good. I'm like, yo, this ain't going to work. Nobody's going to tell me what to do, how to do it, which way to do it. This person is crazy. The person was getting a little too crazy, a little too possessive. And I didn't get it. I swear to God, it didn't occur to me. I've worked and volunteered with so many different people, so many different organizations. It didn't occur to me at that time. Now I kind of get the psyche, but it really didn't occur to me at the time that this idea of thinking that you have some type of ownership, even if you don't have any type of relationship, just plain advocacy, that these people think that they have ownership. These men, these powerful men, think that they have ownership over a woman who has absolutely nothing to do with you. So anyways, that happened. I stopped working with the person for a while. Then they had this big, huge initiative about gun violence. So I decided to start volunteering with them again for a little while, just for a very short initiative. Still cool. When we separated, we were like, it's good. I want to go a different direction. They went a different direction, but everything was good. We are good. Even today, we are good. We cool. Something? I'm cool for several reasons. First of all, nobody really hurt me. And I've always been in control of stuff for so many years. When I was younger, I wasn't really in control because I was bullied a lot. And then my marriage was crazy. But I kind of in control right now. So things don't piss me off unless it get me pissed off. And I get pissed off about a lot of things, but nothing get me pissed off where I feel like I'm not in control. I felt a little bit out of control after what happened with Deuce, which is the guy that I helped in the train station, because I couldn't find out where he was and what happened to him. So I kind of I'm feeling better now, but so I was kind of feeling not in control because I always am used to getting answers to questions, So that was a little weird, but most of the time I'm in control of my life and what happens. So we're good. Me and this person is good. We're good. If he hears this, he probably knows what I'm talking about. We're good. So I worked on an initiative with him. It was a very powerful initiative. I was glad to be part of it. There was a couple of other people that was involved in an initiative that is like I will call it initiative. Initiative is like a project, a event, whatever. That was very powerful. And I'm very glad that I participated. There was a person that worked with him, another female that worked with him, also, and she stopped working with him. Years later, me and her got in touch on Facebook and stuff like that. And if she sees this, she'll know who I'm talking about. And we were talking about this particular person. And she said, "Do I speak to the person?" I said, "Yeah, I speak to him whenever I see him. We could. We ain't got no problem," and stuff like that. She's like, "Well, I really don't speak to him because he was grimy. He did this and that." Even though she kind of, she really appreciated he's very powerful, good person, blah, blah, blah. But she really, she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, he's okay. I said, me and him got into it a couple of times. It was kind of getting kind of weird. He was kind of becoming like possessive, like I was his only volunteer and stuff like that. I thought that was weird, but I get it. Because you know why I get it? Because after leaving him, I started working with other big national organizations. And a lot of people do have type of ownership when it comes to working. If you're a volunteer, I get it, because a lot of the stuff have numbers with it. If you're survivors or if you're volunteer, these organizations, they get funding because of the volunteers that work with them, because of the survivors. So there is a direct connection between, like, if I'm working with you and we're doing this work, there should be loyalty, there should be accountability. So I get that. So as I got more into my advocacy work, I get where it was coming from, right? I still completely disagree with it because I am not the one, but I get the fact that you could feel some type of ownership a little bit and loyalty, especially if you don't like the person that your volunteer is working with. Because I don't think that he particularly liked the person that I was hanging out with, which I didn't give a damn. Apparently, a lot of person didn't like the person, so I get it. But I didn't like the way it came across, because nobody's going to tell me what to do. That's pretty much what it is, right? So anyway, I'm speaking to her, and she said, yeah. She said, well, I'm glad you stopped working, volunteer with him. I was like, yeah. I said, it was cool. But she's like, no, because he said something. He said a couple of things about you after you left. I'm like, really? I'm like, what the hell he had to say about me? I said, we cool, whatever we have to do. This young lady said two things. She said that he said to her that I interjected myself on the initiative and he didn't want me there. Okay. If you guys knew the initiative that we did, it took days. I was heavily involved. The media was involved. It was a lot. And I really appreciated being part there. I did not show my black ass out there. I was asked. I didn't even know what was happening. I was passing by and I saw what was going on, and I was calling to check on the person. Are you good? This is amazing. This is what you're doing. I hear you. I support you. And this person called me and asked me to come back. And when I left, the person asked me to come back and continue to support them. And I stayed there and I supported the hell. Oh my God, if I could tell you guys would think, my friends who knew that I was part of it, I don't even think they even know this story. When they hear this story, they go back, slap me across my head, because I put myself in these positions. It's my fault, because I should be minding my black ass business, and going home and mind my business. Why am I out there helping this a-hole do something, right, that had absolutely nothing to do with me? I was just supporting the person, and they had the nerve to say that to this young lady, that they didn't want me out there anyway, so I interjected myself for clout or something like that. She said that. I said, okay. All right. I heard her. I did it. I'm like, okay, good. I had to think back. I had to work my brain. I remember one time I ran. I had to go get gas. Oh my God. If I could tell you everything that I did that day, I'll be out there. The inconvenience of my life, my entire life. The fact that this initiative could actually impact the work, my actual payday job, my paid job. I actually could have impacted my job. That's how much I cared about the initiative, what the person was doing. That what I did could have impacted my job because my bosses could have had something to say about it. Because guess what? I've always been the type of personality, I'm going to do what I'm going to do when it comes to my advocacy. I didn't care who saw it. I didn't care if it was my top boss, my bottom boss. I didn't care. There's no such boss. I'm not talking about bottom like bad thing. I don't care if it was my direct supervisor, the top head of the whatever. If I felt there was something that I needed to do as an initiative in order to bring a message, I'm going to do it. So my job could have been impacted. My family didn't know what the fuck I was doing. They were like, why are you doing this? Are you getting paid? No. I did all of that. And it was such a long, oh my God. It was such a long project, an initiative, and it was so tiring and so emotionally exhausted. And I was glad to do it because it brought a message and the media was out there and I was glad to do it. And for this son of a bitch to say that I wasn't invited, that I interjected myself in the stuff that he wanted to do and I did it for media, that was one. I'm like, okay, all right. That's what you get. Stupid ass. That's what you get. He asked you to come, you did all that, and then years later we talk about friendship. When you talk about the friend, when you talk about old girl, you give me something. I'm like, okay, fine, all right. That's one. I let that go. I said, okay. Oh, I was pissed. Oh my God, I was pissed. I remember I was pissed. I almost called the person. That's how pissed I got. I almost called the person to tell the person off. But the person swore me. This, I guess, is the first time I'm saying it publicly. And the person see the video, all of them, they're going to see that I spoke about it. Because I told them I told the person I wasn't going to call him. I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it go because she was good. But it's been many years. It's been many years. And here's the second part. You think that's good? So I was okay, excuse me, of the person saying that I was doing for clout. This person actually said that he slept with me. That's what this person said. I laughed so hard. I didn't even know what to do with myself. I laughed so hard. I laughed. I think I stopped being mad because I was laughing so hard when she said that. And he also said that he slept with her. I laughed. I was like, this fool said what? I said, let me tell you something. It wouldn't have been a big deal because this person is single. I'm single. There's no controversy about it. If we had something together, it would have been fine because that would have been it. But people could even probably Google and see who I'm talking about. First of all, the person wasn't my type. I probably wasn't this person's type. Maybe I was, but I wasn't aware of it because the person was somebody that was really cool. And I thought it was cool. But it was the irony of it. It's the irony of it because here I am giving my free time working with this person because I believe in everything the person had to do when it comes to gun violence, right? I've always put a lot of effort and stuff like that. Right? I put a lot of effort. I put a lot of money. I put a lot of time. That's it. Volunteer to me. Nobody needs to pay me for my volunteer work. This is just who I am as a person. I'm a humanitarian. I want to save the world. That's where it gives me joy to do it. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something. It makes me feel that I have a footprint in the world. This is what I want to do. Right? And I promise you, if I slept with anybody, I would be the first one to be like, I tapped that. Yep, that happened. Yep. It was just the arrogance and the irony of her telling me this after all these years. I said, I wish he would. That's what I said. I said, I wish he would. I said, he probably going around telling everybody he tapped it. And these people talk. You think the industry people talk? The political people talk too. They talk like little girls, little gossipies. Because I gossip too. So I gossip, they gossip, we all gossip. I wonder how many people this man told he slept with me. I would love to have a number. Because I would love to have a conversation. Usa. So that's what happened. So I started laughing with her. I said, I've been celibate for a lot of years. I talk about it. My son talk about it. My family talk about it. I've been celibate for many, many years. And even talk about why I became celibate. And it was way before this guy. I became celibate around my 40th birthday. I told this story, but I'll tell the story again. That summer was right before my 40th birthday. And I was crazy about this guy for many, 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 many years. I met this guy in the military. I was crazy about him. If I was going to marry anybody besides my ex-husband, because my ex-husband was my young love, this guy was my true love. And there was a third guy who I actually really was crazy about. But this guy in the Marines, I would have married him because that was, in my opinion, was my true love, right? So I would have married him. And he ended up marrying somebody else. I waited for him for about 14 years, off and on. I dated others. By the time he came back to the United States, I thought that we was going to pick up because I tried to stay in touch with him just for him to come see me. That weekend that he came to see me, he was meeting his in-laws because they were about to get married the following. It was very devastating. Oh my God. I was very devastated. So that happened. After that, it was a few years later. I really didn't date that much. But then there was a period of time when I started dating right after the other. 1, 2, 3. I was showing my ass for a good 6 months. I wouldn't even say 6 months. I started that summer, but it was actually from, I did start that summer, but it was actually from Labor Day, which was been September to December, that I was dating right after that. And we were doing more than dating. I'm talking about I was sleeping with guys, dating. It was approximately about 5 to 6 guys. And every time I got with somebody, something happened where it broke up and blah, 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 blah. So it was right before Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It was the last 2 guys that I was seeing because everybody else fell off. I was like, nah, I can't do this. Nah, I can't do this. Nah, nice guys. All of them nice guys, but except for this one guy. His name was Stanley. He was so sweet. A young guy I met on Labor Day. We got together. It was supposed to just be one of those things. And then the man had the nerve to call me with his girlfriend on the line and tell me that he can't see me anymore because he got together with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend talked to me on the phone and she was so upset. And on poor Tito, I started laughing. I was like, girl, we're good. She's like, oh, and he's my man. And I said, girl, I promise you, I apologize. We are so good. It wasn't like that. If I knew he had a girlfriend, I would never have talked to him. He didn't tell me he had a girlfriend. We are good. I promise you, I will never see or talk to him. I hope they're still together. I hope he got married because he really went through it. He really went through all that, put me on the phone with his girlfriend. Anyway, so that happened. It all happened around the same time. So at the end of the year, ended up all of them went. It was so much drama. So the last two had to do with the Christmas holiday. Because I told the story before. I was seeing the last two. I was seeing the third one I just mentioned to you that I really liked. I really liked him. I really did. I really liked him. Everybody in my family, they know who I'm talking about. And there was another one who I really liked for so long, but he was way too young for me. And I should never have messed with him because I shouldn't have messed with him. There's a lot involved in that. And if my friend, he's the son of my friend. So I'll say that. And she's fine with it. We already talked about it. She's good. And he was always too young. And I really liked him, but he was just too young. And I shouldn't have gone there. But anyway, it was him and it was the third guy. Not my true love, but the third guy. Because I told you my true love broke my heart. Blah, 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 blah. And of course, my ex-husband, who's my young love, he's been gone. So anyway, those two, it was during the holidays. The young one was a football player. He was an NFL, and he was supposed to bring the boys jerseys. He was supposed to bring Flip and Chef Teddy jerseys. And I asked him to bring the jerseys for them for the holidays because, it was Christmas time. And at the time I wasn't making a lot of money and they knew him for many years. And they were so excited that he was going to come. This man came and he didn't even bring the jerseys. And I look at him and I ask him, what happened? It was jerseys. I don't know how much they cost at the time, but it was supposed to be a gift for the boys. And it was supposed to be one of my main gifts. And he didn't bring it. And his whole thing was that he couldn't get it at the time, and he was concerned that the only reason why women date him is because they want something for him, and so he didn't really think I was serious. Oh my God, I was pop pop. Thank you. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I said, first of all, you're too young, son of my friend. I actually do something that wasn't gonna work, and I'm like, what am I doing? Am I crazy? And I get what he was saying, like people using them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, 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 it's not that serious. Thank you. We're good. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. That was it. That's the young one. Then you have the one that I really liked. Now that one was, I think, right after Christmas. He came after Christmas. Again, I was showing my entire ass for like a few months. I was dating a few guys, but I ended up with the last two. So I just so there would have been one. He came to my house after Christmas. I bought gifts for him and everything. Everything was wrapped up and everything like that. You know, this mofo came to my house without a gift for Christmas. We were seeing each other for like we were seeing each other for a while. Now with him, I was seeing him for at least a year and a half, even though I was dating other people. The reason why I was dating other people is because he wasn't serious. He was never, even though I really, really liked him, he wasn't serious. He wasn't really giving me time, and he lived out of state. So he would only come and see me like once a month or stuff like that. So that's why I was seeing other people. But I really liked him, I could tell you. This mofo came to the house with no Christmas gift. And here I am, the sucker that I am, have a gift all wrapped up and everything for him. He had no gift for me or the boys at the time. We ended up having a huge argument. And that was the last time I saw him. He did say that, because I spoke to him years later, like maybe about 10 or somewhat years later. He was like, I actually came looking for you at the house, but by the time we moved to Brooklyn, we were in Queens at the time, we moved to Brooklyn. He said, I actually came looking for you and then you just disappeared. Of course, my number stayed the same, but the fact that he came looking for me, I thought that was interesting. But so that was it. So he was the last one. So after him, after the whole Christmas debacle, after the Stanleys of the world and the other guys, and then you have the young one and you have the one that I really like. It was New Year's. I was so depressed. I'm like, yo, what the hell am I doing? Because my whole life I was a nerd. So I really didn't have a lot of boyfriends or anything like that. And I wasn't really interested like that. But for some reason, that summer, I was right before my 40th, I just lost my damn mind. I went wild. I had some good times. Don't get me wrong, but I went wild. But anyway, after he left, I got really depressed, and I'm like, okay, you gotta stop. This is not working for you. I'm not happy. We're not going into your 40s doing this. You're not gonna be dating endlessly, doing all that stuff like that. You don't like that. That's not who you are. First of all, it takes a lot of energy and stuff like that out of you. So I decided then, I said, I'm not going to date anybody for a while. I'm just not. I'm just going to figure out what that makes me happy. I'm going to concentrate on myself. I'm going to find inner peace, blah, 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 all that bullshit, progressive stuff that we talk about to ourselves. And my 40th birthday happened and stuff like that. I think one of my friends gave me a birthday party. I love her so much. She gave me a birthday party, which I didn't want, but I enjoyed myself. And then after that, the 40th was kind of rough the first few months because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just determined I wasn't going to date or see nobody, but I didn't know what I was going to do. And it was that time that Flip was going through some changes with the legal system, and I started helping them out, and I started helping his other friends. And then the earthquake happened, Katrina happened. I think it was Katrina that happened in New Orleans, and I joined the American Red Cross, and I started working with the American Red Cross, and all this other stuff started happening, and I started putting all my energy in advocacy, and I realized the same high that I would have gotten in a relationship I'm getting with advocacy, where I'm creating a footprint. I'm becoming the person that I want to be. I don't have to deal with the bullshit. And that's what I've been doing for many, many years now. So imagine me doing all that. The thing that got me from my funk, the thing that got me to be who I am, the thing that makes me happy, advocacy. This fool is going around telling me he slept with me. Lord have mercy. I laughed so hard, I don't even think I had to laugh. The girl said, you all right? I said, let me tell you something. I'm sure he's telling a lot of people that that's what happened. But there's something that happened years ago to me that if anybody asks me, I would have to ask him to describe something. And I'm not going to say what the description is. It's nothing crazy, but it's just some things happen to women and sometimes. So I said I would have to ask him to describe something. And if he has the right answer, then we slept together. If he doesn't, then that didn't work. That didn't happen. So anyway, she's like, no, I didn't believe him anyway and stuff like that. But I was like, it doesn't matter. But I say this story, and I don't know why I went to the long. I love telling stories, but I went to the long story just to show you men of power right? Because this person was very influential in the neighborhood, right? He's very influential in the political arena. He has power. He knows a lot of people. Men of power, even somebody like me, who I believe has equal amount of power, right? Who's very well known, very, in my opinion, a lot of people can't stand me, but in certain things I'm well known. In certain things I'm respected at, and I may have a reputation of being a bitch, but I have a reputation of being a upstanding person, right? I don't sleep around. I don't use anything to get anything. I don't let people take advantage of me that way. It doesn't do it. But even in that situation, a person like me who don't do any of that, my name is being dragged on the street by this one asshole. For what? For what? Just to claim something? Just to say that you have some type of power over me? What the hell? And it didn't happen, right? So I say this to say that there's so much bullshit out here with these people. Whether it's political, whether it's music, whether it's industry, you have these men out here that are using their power and their stance just to demean, disrespect, abuse women. And a lot of us want to believe and support the men, but you don't want to believe and support the women. And that's wrong. And that's wrong. Now that we have the video of Cassie now, so what are we going to do about Diddy? What are we going to do about him? What is all his friends and his supporters going to do about Diddy? Y'all have the video now. Y'all see him drag the girl. You saw him kick her twice. Then apparently he took a vase and he threw it at her. You saw how you can imagine what pain that she's been in before and after this. So what are we going to do about Diddy? Are we going to ignore it? Right now we're waiting for the case. We're waiting for the lawsuit. But what are we going to do about him? Are we going to cancel Diddy like we did R. Kelly? Because guess what? I don't even understand the cancellation with R. Kelly. Even though R. Kelly's in jail, yes, thank God, because he did what he did. We still playing R. Kelly music. And God forbid we start talking about in certain circles that we need to cancel R. Kelly. And then they were like, oh, what about Harvey Weinstein? What about all these other white people who's been doing it for years? Why are we going after that? Oh, and let's not talk about Bill Cosby. Oh, the wrong that the community has done that says that we've done to Bill Cosby, right? Because Bill Cosby, of course, is innocent, right? Because they had 19 to 25 women or more who came out and said that this man, this oogly, disrespectful man, drugged them one after the other. And he was a billionaire with a humongous company who had successful shows. He couldn't pay for it. He had these women come to his house, whether it was actresses, come to his house. He drugged them to force them to have sex because he couldn't do it as a man. But we're not supposed to talk about Bill Cosby because we're wrong. Because as a community, we need to support our black males, right? And the fact that Bill Cosby got away with it, Felicia Rashad, Stephanie Mills, all of them, he got away with it. He got out of jail because he made a deal in which he said in a lawsuit that he did what he did. But because they brought it up on a case, it was technically they wasn't supposed to bring his testimony where he proved that he was guilty. In this case, they let him out as a technical error because it was a technical and they let him out so everybody's in praises. Oh, yeah, Bill Cosby was innocent. Oh, yeah, they tried to railroad him. Oh, yeah. This blind, oogly mofo that's been talking about people for many years, that's been R-ing women for many, many years, you guys are supporting him. But guess what? He's old, half dead. He's half dead. What are you going to do? Thank God we got the 2 years of his ass behind bars. But he's going to be going about his business soon. Hopefully he'll be going to Hayes underground to suffer for what he did to these women. But what are we going to do about Diddy? Are we going to ignore it? And what about all the people that supported him, and not even the people that supported him, but the people who saw what he did and they ignored it? What are they going to do? What are we going to do about them? Right? With the caveat that, of course, you have family members who love this individual. You have friends who love this individual, who he's done good to them, and they don't want to touch it. I get that. But what are we going to do about Diddy? And what are we going to do about Cassie? Who is going to apologize to her and say that, my bad, I was wrong, that he did that shit to you, and we are sorry? What about the people, even if you support Diddy, what about his friends and families who knew this young girl for years? Who is going to apologize to her and say, we're sorry? She lost her entire, she can't sing. She doesn't have a record deal. She doesn't have anything. He took everything away from her. Is the record label's going to give her a contract? That's what I'm waiting for. Is the record label going to give her a contract now? Y'all see the video? The record company that blackballed her. Are you guys going to give her opportunity to shine? Is she going to be able to do a show? Is she going to be able to do an album? What about that? What about that? What about giving Cassie a little bit of what was taken from her for many years? You guys saw the video. What about that? Are we going to do that? Because y'all don't want to attack Diddy. Y'all want to ignore what's going on with him. You're like, okay, you know something? He's my buddy. He's my friend. He did great for me. Yeah, that's fucked up, but I still love to do whatever. Okay. What are we going to do about Cassie? Who going to apologize to her? Who's going to give her back something, a little something? Because, yeah, a lot of people say, well, she got millions of dollars. She's good. No, she's not good. Because remember how she got into the situation. She's a talented, beautiful artist. And she wanted to sing and perform. And this animal took all of that from her. And even if some of the story is wrong because it's supposed to be alleged, even if allegedly some of the stuff that she said didn't happen, we saw that particular video. We saw that video. He is him. You can't say it's his brother or his twin. That's him. Why don't we just take that particular video and say, Cassie, we're sorry. We want to help you. Let's get you a contract. Let's get you the studio. If this is what we want to do, we want to pick off where we left off many, many years ago. Who's going to come up and help that? Who's going to do that? That's what I want to know. Because I can tell you from the very beginning, when I read that woman's story, I knew she was telling the truth. I knew she was telling the truth. You know, as a woman, you know, as somebody who's been there, when they're telling the truth. I knew it. I knew she was telling the truth. I didn't need the video. But now everybody else saw the video, so now what are we doing? What are we going to do about Cassie? So let's go into, that's Diddy and Cassie. Let's go into Mr. Akademik now. Mr. Akademik is being accused of R-ing a girl that was at his party. He said it didn't happen. There are text messages where we saw the text messages. I don't think it was AI, where he was like, I don't want to get involved. It's between you and the guys. And ha, 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 he, he, ha, LOL. All over the messages are LOL, LOL. Don't get me involved, la, la, la. She probably wouldn't have said anything to him if he didn't come out and he made the comment on the interview about how this girl that he was seeing had the nerve, I think he said, had the nerve to be sleeping with two guys. And that's why she came up. That's why she came up. And that's why she's suing you, because you got a mouth and you said it. Of course, freedom of information, freedom of rights. You have the First Amendment right to say what the hell that you want to do. But the First Amendment right does not prevent you from getting a backlash of what you say. It doesn't save you from consequences. And now we have the consequence. Of course, he said that the police said that nothing's going to happen because he didn't do anything wrong. He said that the police saw the video. That's what he said. It's his word versus her word. We don't know what happened. Everything alleged. She said she has a kid. He said it's BS. We'll see what happened. My thing is the fact that he said that if he gets charged with R, he's taking everybody down because he doesn't keep those secrets. So I want to know, what secrets does he have? That's what I want to know. What secrets does Akademik have that he doesn't want to share unless he gets brought down? Because if he gets brought down, he's bringing the whole industry. That means there's a lot of something going on in this industry that we already know. We know it. We may not want to agree with it. We may want to blame the women and say that they're doing it just for money. They're doing it for fame. It's quid pro quo. They're doing it for love. They're doing it. It's all about something. Yes, we may want to say that. But there's a lot of stuff going on, and Akademik apparently has receipts, and he's only going to share it. Only going to share it if he gets caught out there. And then we had the Tory and the Megan situation where everybody was accusing Megan, still accusing Megan of lying. Now, of course, Tory is in jail now, and then he has a lot of supporters. His family, of course, will support him, say that he's been railroaded and stuff like that. So what we need a video showing that he actually shot the gun and shot it in the foot. And even so, there was a lot of oh my God. The Megan story particularly get me annoyed because of the fact that there's a lot of conversation about the fact that she wasn't even supposed to go to the party with him, and then she was sleeping with him, and Tory was actually dating the girl that was in the car. He was actually dating her, so he was sleeping with the girl. So Megan slept with him behind her back, and she was jealous, and because he was trying to talk to Kylie, I think it was Kylie, and she was jealous, and she shouldn't have been in the car. And then there was a conversation about how she disrespected his music, so that's why he got upset. And then there's also a conversation that maybe it wasn't him that shot, it was the girl that shot, because the girl shot her and hit her feet because the girl was upset because she was sleeping with. She just found out that day that they were sleeping with each other and stuff like that. And there's a lot of conversation about Megan Thee Stallion sleeping with everybody, and she has no class, and she do this and she do that, but. So all of that sleeping around and stuff justified her being shot in her foot. I'm guessing that's what some people are alleging, and all of that because of the way she is as a human being and sleeping with this person. Now, we're not talking about. Please, let's not talk about Diddy, right? Drama NYC. Hey, color me Oakland. Please let's not talk about the fact that Diddy be allegedly sexually harassing and beating up Kim, destroying Cassie, beating up, having the freak off, the freak parties, having people coming in and having sex with a drugged disabled Cassie. Let's not talk about that, but let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion, who's sleeping with all these guys, and because she slept with all these guys, she deserves to get shot in the foot. Let's talk about that, because we don't want to talk about the guys, but we want to talk about the girls. And Tory was set up, right? Tory was set up. But if a video comes showing that he had a gun shooting at her, then maybe we would believe her. Maybe, possibly. But no, maybe not one. Yeah, I'm really depressed. Yeah, color me go. Hold on, let me show you guys. I'm saying. So this is Ray Daniel, who said, very nice. Thank you. And this is Color Me Oakland. She said, Drama NYC, laughing. And then she says right here, I'm really depressed about hip hop. So am I. I'm very depressed. I'm depressed about the whole industry. So you have Megan. So I just threw her back in there a little bit, but now. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about the academics in the world and the other podcasters and the WAC 100s of the world? Because WAC say he's coming out in 48 hours. He's gonna be giving a lot of tea. You know. Yeah, exactly. Color Me Oakland said, even if we had a video of Tory, we'll probably ask what did Megan do. Exactly. That's what we are as a community, right? That's how we are as a community, right? We blame the women. We don't blame the men. We blame the women. We blame the women first until the evidence, and then even if there's evidence, then what did the women do? You're right. You're absolutely right. But I feel like the GX kind of dropped the next generation. I feel like the Gen X kind of dropped the next generation. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But let me tell you something, though. No mentorship. This may be the first time generation are passing the torch. Okay, it's possible. It's possible. Thank you for your comments. So I want to know what WAC 100. I want to know what academics know. Everybody spent so much time talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef, and they telling T. They're talking about some of the T is lies. I personally, and I already tweeted it. My favorite was Drake, not Kendrick. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I text that my favorite is Drake, not Kendrick. And the reason why, and I get what everybody's talking about as far as the lyrics and everything that Kendrick put in, but first of all, as the layman just listening, I said it and I tweeted it. I like Drake's voice and musical voice better. Now I'm coughing. I'm sorry. I like his voice better. I don't like Kendrick's voice for some reason. It's not pleasing to me. Color me only say Kendrick is an artist. Drake is a really good pop star, possibly. First of all, I like Drake sound, so I would spend time listening to Drake before I listen to Kendrick. And I'm just talking about the voice. There's something about Kendrick's voice that doesn't really hit with me. So that's one. Second thing, I like Drake creativity. A lot of people are saying that it was wrong when he brought in the AI with Snoop and Tupac, especially Tupac versus Soul. It was wrong, but the creativity was there. I think a lot of people are not, because they love Kendrick so much and they hate Drake. And it's not fair because if somebody's so hated, he's not going to get a fair shot. He's not. He's not. You can't fight, get a fair assessment if you're hated. You can't. That's just my opinion on it. Right? And I'm not taking anything from Kendrick. A lot of people say Kendrick won. He won. What I'm saying is that for me, I just enjoyed Drake, and I don't think that Drake had a fair shot because a lot of people hate him, and it's possible because he did a lot of things. Drake could be, he could be a predator too. I'm not saying anything, any sexual allegations or anything like that. He did anything like that. I say predator in the way that he goes through women fast, and he does it, and he's probably dating all these other guys, women, and that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's who he is, right? And of course, he gets a lot of hate because of who he is and a lot of things that he's doing. And there's been other allegations coming out that I'm not even going to discuss because not because I am, not because I'm a Drake fan, because I'm not a hip hop fan like that. I like his music, but I'm not like a great fan, a Drake fan. I'm not coming out saying anything because I haven't seen any specific articles about it. There's been a lot of allegations of him. There was this story about him dating this girl, kissing a girl on stage that she was 17 years old on one of his concerts. I saw that, but I'm waiting for something concrete to come out there, a serious allegation, and I will tear Drake apart. But in the meantime, listening to the battle is I enjoyed Drake more because I enjoyed his voice more, and I enjoyed his creativity more, right, than I did Kendrick. And that's just my opinion. But I say this because you see the battle that's happening right now with the hip hop that everybody's talking TTT. It all started with Cat Williams earlier this year when Shannon had him on the show and he got almost, I wonder if it's over 1 billion now of views because he was giving TTT of everybody in the community industry. So this year's an industry T. So if this year's an industry T, then Whack 100 Akademik spill the tea. Let us know who is out here predatoring these women, who's attacking these women. Let us know. These big money, powerful men that are using and abusing women. Let us know. You have the tea. Don't wait until something happens. Just spill it. Just spill it. And maybe we could help. Maybe we could change the environment. Maybe we could have a different conversation of how we could support these victims and maybe even get these guys help. Give me 1 second, guys. Maybe get these guys help because these guys need, a lot of these guys need help. A lot of them need help. They need help, guys. A lot of them need help. And maybe we can help them. So I want to segue to Donald Trump. We have an election coming up this year. I have no idea why I'm seeing bullshit polls. Some of them is turnaround. New York Times, it's been determined that the polls that they did the other day were skewed. But I don't know why I'm seeing polls of this cray cray son of a gun is even being considered closely in this election. I don't know. I don't get it. This man was proven in a similar case to have sexually assaulted Jean. We went to court on this matter. They found out that he sexually assaulted her. He had to pay her many millions of dollars. Jean Carroll. He had to pay her many millions of dollars. And then he continued talking. First, I think it was 5 million. Then he started talking, and now jury. He went to jury. First, he went through the judge, and then he went through a jury, and they increased it to 83 million that he has to pay her. But yet, this particular person is in a race, and the race is supposed to be close between him and a Democratic presidential candidate, who's currently the president of the United States. Now we're on a case where the case is about him paying a porn star to keep, her name is Stormy Daniels, to keep the story from coming out after Access Hollywood. The Access Hollywood tape is when he said that he could grab them by the PUSSY, and because he's a star, right? So we got all that, right? So after all these years, we're finally in the middle of the trial. There was he has a lawyer who used to be a prosecutor who now became a defense attorney so he could defend him. They want us now to believe that Michael Cohen is lying because he forgot whatever the date was. I'm just, you guys have to watch it. There's a lot going on, but the Stormy Daniels was there. There was a lot of people that was there. David Pecker, who was part of the Inquirer, he talked about how he covered all the stories and everything like that to make sure that he could help Trump. All these people around Trump helped Trump. And one thing I have to give, I have to give this credit. He did that shit. And I'm not talking about the sexual assault, which I believe he did, but all the people around him got him into that White House. He was able to get it done. Yes, he was. He was able to. All those people who covered him even though Michael Cohen said that he changed his ways, Michael Cohen helped him. His family helped him. Even Stormy Daniels, and I follow her and I give her respect for coming out. Even she helped him. Karen McDougal helped him. You know how they helped him? They helped him because they made him pay for their story, but they didn't come out and tell that story. Similar to what's going on with Akademik and Wacko 100 right now. They didn't tell the story. They didn't. They let the world, and even and to be honest with you, in my opinion, to be honest with you, looking at Foresight, I think he may have, with the help of Russia, because I think Russia was part of this whole big campaign and stuff like that. I think he would have won anyway, even if the story came out. That's just my opinion, because the white women and in the suburb really wanted somebody different. They were really butthurt about a black president. That's my opinion. They were butthurt about a black president. They were like, who is this black family in the White House? We need somebody else white. No matter if the white guy was a piece of trash, we're going to put him in there. So I believe he would have probably won, even with the Access Hollywood, even if they showed that he was having sex with a porn star and Karen McDougal. I think he would have won, to be honest with you. Because you had the suburban hated the fact that we had a black president for 8 years. Also, you also had everybody else, especially the progressive, who hated Hillary. So with that, including the Russian helping with the campaign, I think he would have won even if those two stories came out. I think he would have won. But the fact of the matter is, Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, they made sure to help him get in the White House because they didn't tell their story. They could have at least told the story, but they didn't. Instead, they sold their story to keep it away, right? And there were other stories. And if you start looking at it, it's such a great con if you look at it. It's such a great con to have this decrepit, old, corny clown who's done so many horrible things. And let me tell you, I was a fan of his. I watched The Apprentice like everybody else. I never had anything to say bad about this guy until he went down the escalator talking crap about Mexican. That's when I was like, oh, whoa, this is going to be crazy, right? But this decrepit old person, right? Because of course they're going to say Biden, but this decrepit con man actually did that. He had all these people covering his back, and they covered it up. They covered everything for him to be there. You gotta give that man credit for that, because he did that shit, man. He did that shit. When I start hearing, when I'm listening to the trial, because I've been listening to the trial almost every day, and I hear everything, what David Pecker, all of them. And guess what? I actually believe the story about Ben, that stupid a-hole cooning Surgeon General who actually Ben, what is his name? Ben, what is Ben's name? I forgot his name. The one that ran for attempted to run for president. I actually believe that story that he left a sponge. Oh my God, I believe that story. Oh my God, that he left a sponge in the woman's head. Oh my God, I believe that story. I feel so bad now. That was so stupid, Dr. Ben Carson. I can't believe that I actually believe that story. And even when they were talking about Cruz father, I even was like, I remember by the time saying, I wonder if those stories were true and it was all made up. You gotta give it to that son of a gun, that son of a bitch, and all his people. They covered up for him. They covered all those stories, and he was able to get in the White House. You gotta believe it. You gotta give him credit. And they're trying to do the same thing again. Even with the Supreme Court, you have two Supreme Court representatives that believes in Trump to the point where one Supreme Court flew the American flag, which they all say they hold dear to their heart. All of these patriots talk about they hold the American flag dear to their heart. They will die for that flag. This freaking Supreme Court justice had the flag upside down to show that he support Trump in January 6th and to stop the steal. And he believed that Trump didn't lose. And then you have the cooning Supreme Court, the black one, who's been cooning with his white wife all this time trying to change the election. You have two of them out of the Supreme Court. Oh, my God. And now they still having his back because they're not giving the immunity case. They're holding on the immunity case. I promise you, if it was any other candidate, they would have had an answer within 48 hours. But this right here, they want to hold it to the end because they're trying to figure out how to make it work because there's so many anger against them right now. But they're going to try it. I believe they're going to try it. So I want to know, this man did everything he can to get the White House the first time, so he's trying to do everything he can. And he slept with a porn star. We know that. We know that he slept with a Playboy bunny. We know that he sexually assaulted Jean Carroll. There's a lot of other cases against him and stuff like that. You know that he was accused of that. There is paperwork. There's documentation. And they're telling me that a bunch of people want to vote for him. And they're telling me that a bunch of black male want to vote for him. So, another predator, right? Another predator. He may not be in the billions. He may not be as rich as he say he is, but he's a predator. And you have a lot of black people supporting that particular predator. At least that's what they say. You have a lot of the young people that's going to either not vote because they are against Biden because of Israel, right? So they're going to allow that predator, or they're going to try to allow that predator to get in. And here's the thing. It's your future. Because the black men that's allowing him to get in because of taxes or because of money or because they don't think it's a big deal that he slept with a porn star because they all do it, or he doesn't think that it's a big deal that he slept with a freaking playmate because they all do it. And even if he attacked Jean Carroll, yay, they all do it. Why not? They support Bill Cosby. They support R. Kelly. They're supporting Diddy. Oh, that's what men do. They all do it, so why not? I'm going to get a tax rate. I'm going to get some money. They forgot everything that happened like 4 years ago before this man. This man killed a million, over a million people in America because of his COVID, because of what he did with COVID. My mom almost died of COVID. But what? Hey, let's not forget about that because they want this guy. They say they want Trump. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And then you have the young people who said that we're not even going to try to help him this time because of Israel versus Gaza and everything that's going on in Gaza. And it's because we can sending money, and thousands and thousands of people are getting killed in the Gaza. I said it before and I say it again. Besides a couple of situations where attacking different Palestine young people attacking Jewish attacking Palestine and the United States, it's not acceptable to me. Stopping people from graduating because you want to take a stand and interrupting, it's not acceptable to me. Those are the two things I'm standing. Other than that, I'm minding my goddamn business because it's not my fight. But I do say, so the young people are going to do the same thing that they did, the progressive did when Hillary was running, because they hated Hillary so much that Trump, with all his accolades, got him to the White House. So they're trying to do the same thing. The difference is that 4 years ago, I really, 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 really cared. I spent 4 years from 2016 to 2020 fighting, marching, fighting, going to DC, doing all kind of stuff. And it's not that I don't care now, but I'm going to mind my goddamn business. Because you know what? Because I know who I'm going to vote for. And I know that if Donald Trump come in office again, I know that if anything crazy happens, I'm out there doing all kind of revolution stuff if I need to. But other than that, because I'm not going to let this world go into shit and hot water. But other than that, if he comes in and he just do his basic bullshit, I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to watch. Because it's not going to be my business. Because you know why? Because I had my life. Right? And my grandkids, I think, are still young enough that whatever bullshit that he's going to do if he comes in the White Office because of these young people that is going to college or their 20s and mid-20s who wants to teach us a lesson, who wants to disrupt everything, I think that I would be able to see through what happens next for my grandkids. If it becomes like a dictatorship or something like that, that's another conversation. But he's coming in because you guys want to teach people a lesson. Let's see what kind of bullshit he comes up with. Let's see what the Supreme Court does. Because all your rights are gone. Right now, they already took away Roe v. Wade. Let's see what else he take away. But you guys going to do the same thing. And I'm just talking about to the progressive young people who saying that, oh, we're not going to vote. Or people around my age, we're not going to vote because we want to teach Biden a lesson. But you ain't teaching me a goddamn thing. You ain't teaching me a goddamn thing. I already got that lesson of Trump from 2016 to 2020. I got that lesson. I knew exactly the kind of bullshit he was on, what he did, what he's able to do, what he's capable of. I got that. I got the message. I know what it is, how it is, what it's going to be. If you guys want to allow this motherfucker to get back into the White House because you guys have a vendetta, or because you're a black male and you think that because he's being prosecuted and I'm prosecuted, or because you think that him sexually assaulting people and he's disrespecting his wife, even though I can't stand her living guts, I think she's a piece of trash. Also, I'm for women and I support women. The reason why I hate Melania, and hate is a strong word because I don't know the bitch. Excuse my language. YouTube. Let me check YouTube and make sure YouTube don't kick me out. Hold on, let me second. Let me check YouTube because I'm cussing. I'm sorry. All right, I'm still on. The reason why I can't stand her is because of the fact that she was there along with him when she saw him do all this rotten stuff. She was there. She's the one that gave him cover for the Access Hollywood. She knew about Stormy Generals and stuff like that. She knew that he was doing the separation of family. She knew what he did on January 6th. She knew. And she stood by him the entire time. The only thing I'm giving her, if I give her anything else, is that she loves her son. That's the only thing I'm giving her. But knowing her son will become the same piece of crap as his father. That's just my opinion. So I'm saying to you guys, whether it's a black male, black female, brown female, suburban women, whoever, If y'all want this mofo to come back in office again to do some calamity and destroy democracy, it's on you. I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent it from stopping, from it happening. I personally am. And if he coming here trying to do some crazy shit, I'm gonna be out there like a revolutionary. I'll be out there like I'm crazy. I'll be out. But other than that, if he comes out there and you guys put him in office and he's doing the same old bullshit that he did from 26 to 2020, I'm gonna mind my goddamn business. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go to the casino with my mom. I'm going to do my picnics. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to wait 4 years or until he dropped dead. And I'm just going to see how I play because it's your future. It's the young people's future. It's not my future. I already seen a good amount. I want to live many more years. But I already went. I already did my thing. I did my thing. I have my footprints. I'm still helping people, doing what I want to help people do. Right now, I'm doing our casino. Please join Mama Flip Slot channel. The stuff like that. We're trying to get over 1,000 viewers, subscribers. If you're on YouTube and you guys are on Instagram and you have not supported our channel, please go to YouTube and support Mama Flip Slot channel. I really appreciate it. We're trying to get over 1,000 to start out with, so that we can have a serious footprint in the casino world. Because you have to have at least a minimum of 1,000 in order to start being considered like a real content creator and start getting monetized on YouTube. Hopefully we get to thousands, then we can start building up and stuff like that. We really enjoy playing playing casino, slot playing, and we do it like maybe once or twice a month. But we get money. The casino has been killing us the last few games. We have lost mad money. So we got to slow down. We may be going to casino next week. Please join us. We do all of our slot plays live. You guys get the chance to see us in action. You see everybody that we talk to. You see the hotels we in, the different things. We do it all. So please, hold on 1 second. Sorry. So please consider joining our YouTube channel. I am on live on Mama Flip Slot channel now talking about these, but I'm going to make private this video on the mom flip channel, Mama's Flip Slot channel, and put it under Marie, because I have it going live on both channels, Mama Flip Slot channel and also Marie Live. So I'm gonna make this private on the slot channel, because the slot channel is not supposed to be talking about this content, and leave it on Marie Live. Please subscribe to Marie Live. Also, Mama Flip Live, not Marie Live. Marie's my name. Mama Flip Live. So I'm going to leave this up on the Mama Flip Live, and I'm going to make it private on the Mama's Flip Slots. I know it's a lot. It's a mouthful. The only reason why I'm doing this live on the Mama Flip Slots is because I only have 1 or 2 subscribers on the Mama Flip Live, and I need to build that channel up too. And I have most of the subscribers on the Mama Flip Slot. So I'm hoping that you guys, could share, like the video, and go to Mama Flip Live. I'll probably leave this video up for like 24 hours and then bring it down, because I really want the Mama Flip Slot channel just to be about slot playing. But anyway. So yeah, so if this man comes into office, I'm going to be upset, but I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to make myself as upset as I was 26 and 2020. I lost sleep. I couldn't sleep. I was so worried about everybody, what's going to happen, what kind of nonsense, and the lies and the tribulations and the backstabbing that these people was doing and stuff like that. All these people was out of pocket, but you got to give them all credit. All of them. You got to give the GOP at the time. You have to give the Bill Bars at the time. You have to give the district attorneys at the time. You got to give the judges. You got to give them all credit. I'm telling you, they did that shit. They put this incompetent asshole in the White House. They did that. You got. I have never went. The more I hear about the con that they did to put this man in the White House, you got to give to the. You got to give a con his due. You got to give. You got to give a hustler his due. This brainless hustler. You got to give him his due. He did that. Him and his people. They did that. The GOP, they all did that. They covered up for him, including the women who he assaulted. They covered up for him to put him in that White House. They could have stopped. All of them could have worked together to stop that man, but they put him in the White House in 2016. The progressives also helped because they hated Hillary so much. Good for y'all. Y'all did that too. Y'all put that man in the White House. And now look at what the history book, because nothing is really going to be said now. It's the history books. I hope I live long enough to see the history books and see what they really have to say about this fool and everybody else that's supported him all these years. I hope I live long enough to be able to read it and maybe have a couple of things to say about it, about this time that we live in. So hopefully everybody else in America, a large amount of us, know what is going to be best. Hopefully we will not vote and let this man get back into power and do a bunch of crazy stuff. Hopefully we hold the Supreme Court accountable for all their BS. Hopefully we hold the GOP accountable for all their BS. Hopefully we get to the point where we can live a, a decent, calm life. And we can still live in democracy. What makes me crazy is that most of these people fought against masks because they didn't want to wear a mask because the government was telling them what to do, and yet they want to put this fool back in office, and he wants to be a dictator. You can't explain it. There's no explaining the minds. You can't. Anyway, wish us all luck in November. Wish us all luck and stuff like that. But let's get back to what we're gonna do. So what are we gonna do about Diddy? What are we gonna do? What is Akademik is gonna do? Because we don't have any proof or video that Akademik. We didn't see the video that Akademik revived. But what is Akademik gonna do as far as sharing the videos and telling us what other people are doing prior to him being allegedly accused of anything like the R? What are we gonna do about him? Is he gonna come out? Are you gonna tell us what's going on? Who's being hurt? Who's being brutalized in this industry, so that we could get these people help, so that we can stop supporting the abusers? Is he gonna do something? I don't know. And what about Whack 100? He says it. I didn't. Let's see what Whack 100 said, because I don't want nobody to think I'm lying on Whack 100. Because I saw it. 100. He will reveal in 48 hours. Let me see if I can find out. Right here. I think it's right here. Can I see it? I don't want to use somebody else's video. Hold on. Black 100. That was, yeah. He said, I'm gonna get what he says specifically. Okay, hold on. The Reddit guys are talking about it. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if this is an actual video. Hold on. All right, right here. Okay, it's on Twitter, guys. Hold on, guys. I want to show it. It's on Twitter. Hopefully, they allow me to show it. And then again, everything I'm using is based on fair uses and permitted by copyright statute. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. Hopefully, I don't get kicked out by freaking YouTube. So hopefully, let's play a little bit what he says. Hold on. This is it.
I told all the homies I was gonna stay out of everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? I lied. Diddy.
I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it because I don't want to play the whole thing. I stopped it because I don't want to play the whole. But he is cursing out Diddy, and he's talking about somebody, Big Freddie and Debo. Oh man, he's talking about penitentiary. He's cursing Diddy. He said that he's gonna say how to do the business. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is, guys. I'm coming back in. I wanted to stop it because I don't want to get in trouble. But here's what he says right here. This is Whack 100. He said his own words. Let's play it.
Mind my business, but I lied. Not only did I lie, right? I'm finna get in everybody's business. For the next 48 hours, it's a blitz. I'm going to my war chest. I'm pulling every motherfucking thing out. And I got some shit. Y'all stay tuned. But Diddy,
He putting everything out because he has a war chest. How many years have these guys been holding on to these secrets and covering up for these artists? How many years? Of course, you want to be careful because look what happened to Tasha K, right? You don't want to put out stuff that could get you a lawsuit and defamation. I get that. Tasha K said a few things. She's now being sued by Kevin Hart because of one of his assistants said, obviously, she went through a lawsuit with Cardi. I think Cardi said she was going to pull it back, but then she changed her mind, so I don't know what's going on. So you don't want to be caught with defamation. But if you are bold enough to say, to Akademik, to say that if I get R, I will start, everybody's going down with me. And then you have Whack 100 says that I have things in my war chest. That means you guys know stuff. You haven't said anything. So what are we going to do next, guys? What are we going to do next? What are we going to do about the Diddys of the world? What are we going to do about academics keeping secrets? What are we going to do, Whack 100 keeping secrets? What are we going to do about the Donald Trump of the world who's trying to bring America down after all his disgusting shenanigans? What are we going to do? Are we just going to continue to ignore people? Just ignore the problem? Just allow these rich, very rich, uber rich, powerful men use their power, use their money to continuously hurt people? Is that what we're doing? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I guess we're going to see what happens next. So I wish the best for Cassie. I hope she gets some peace. I hope the fact that the video came out finally, I hope that people are apologizing to her. I hope the record company will come out and say, hey, we hear you. You're no longer blackballed, because I think she was blackballed, and maybe give her an opportunity to sing and perform if that's what she still wants. She probably doesn't want to do it because she's so traumatized with it that she doesn't want to do it. But if she does, I hope they give her opportunities and stuff like that. I hope somebody, I don't know, I don't want to, I don't know. Somebody, justice be brought. I mean, justice in regards to Diddy, justice in regards to academics, if that's what he did, justice in regards to all those predators out there that's hurting people. I hope the victims get justice. That's all I could say. Because guess what? Besides that video, I believe Cassie, so I can't even give Diddy a pass or anything. I believe Cassie. But in America, you have to be brought to court and found guilty before you throw them on. I can't. Allegedly, there's a lot of stuff in the case. He wasn't brought to court. So if he wasn't brought to court, he pays her. So we have to let all that other stuff that she alleges that he did, leave it on the table as an allegation. You have Little John lawsuit. It's going to court. We're going to see what's happening. He has a lot of things to say. There's I think about 2 or 3 other court cases that's coming out where it's showing that Diddy sexually abused others. We're going to see what it has to say. Everybody's proven innocent. Everybody's innocent before proven guilty. We will say that. The only thing right now we have on Diddy that we could see with our own 2 eyes is what he did to Cassie in that video. There we go. When it goes to Akademik, we don't know what happened. There's a video out there. We have not seen the video. I hope the media put it out a FOIL request, FOIL, FOIL request to get the video so they can share the video so we can see what the hell is going on. In the meantime, we don't know what's going on. It's between his word and her words, and that's it. I do want him to come out and say what he needs to say about other predators out there without him waiting until he gets If and he's not gonna, we don't know until before the trial. Now they did say something that I have to put out there before I go. They did, a lot of people did say he needs to be careful because depending on what tea he has, he could be in danger. So yeah, we don't want to. We're not asking for bullying. We're not asking for retaliation. We're just asking for justice. If there's some really evil things happening out here with these people that they're doing, I think we have a right to know to stop, so they could be stopped. So that's him. Whack 100, he just made the comment that he's opened up the war chest. Can't wait to see what he has. If, again, we're just looking for justice, if there's anything that they could show to stop people from hurting other people, especially men hurting women, we should see it. And they need help. The victim need help and the perpetrator needs help. But the only way that we can get anybody help is to know the truth. Again, and that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Calling me Oakland said that's a good point. Thank you. I don't know what I said. I said a good point. We used to thank you for that. Going on to say, so often we will cancel people without thinking how we change hearts and minds. I don't know. I think we need to cancel more people, to be honest with you. I think sometimes it takes way too long to cancel people, to be honest with you. I think if there is serious allegations out there by these people, that we need to stop supporting them. And again, if you are a family member, you're a friend, and you see the good in the person, and the person that behind the doors, that's the monster, is a good person outside, and you don't want to hurt them, I get that. Been there, done that, got it. But if that's the case, then you help the victim too. Then you help the victim too. You support the victim too. Don't dogpile on the victim, and then you know your boy is doing stuff. That's horrible. That's horrible. So yeah, I think a lot more people needs to be canceled if it's proven that the allegation is true. That's just my opinion. Guys, thank you so much. Vote Biden in November, or America is lost. I seriously believe that. I seriously believe that in my heart, that this guy who actually climbed his way into the White House from 2016 to 2020 is the worst thing that could happen again. But if he does come, that means that you guys did that, and it's on y'all. It's not going to be on me. So good night, everybody. Thank you for whoever came, passed by. If you guys see this video, please like and share. Please also, again, join Mama Flip Slot channel. Oh, and let me not forget, hashtag find Deuce. Deuce is the gentleman that I helped in the train track. You guys could go on my Instagram and see. I think I probably have the clip on my Mama Flip Slots also. And I am looking to see what happened to him after he left. I still haven't been able to find any information. I don't know if the EMT let him go when he went upstairs, or if the EMT took him anywhere to get help. I haven't been able to find anything. One thing is that his sneaker was in the train track for days. I take the train there all the time. I didn't see his sneakers, so they removed it. So I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's okay. I hope he doesn't end up at any more train track. I hope it was a lesson for him and he's able to get out whatever situation he's in, and to put him in that position in the first place. And I hope he's doing well. But I would love to know what happened to him and to see if he's okay. And that's, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Okay, bye-bye.